Yo, what is going on, my people, my Marines probably out there? I'd imagine there's mostly Marines that would even, or service members that probably look at these videos, or people that want to join the military in the future. So younger guys, if you're watching, love you guys. Thank you for clicking on the video. It means I did something right with those thumbnails and SEO and all that. But sad to say, yesterday morning, as I was taking my beautiful son to my mother's house, I was opening the door to my car, and I was putting, I don't know if you guys have, some of you parents out there might have the Duna car seat stroller type of thing. It's like a stroller that converts into a car seat. He's a little bit big for it, but I don't have a bigger car seat right now. We ordered one. These things are so expensive for whatever reason. So it's a hybrid car seat stroller thing. I put it down when I was putting him in the car. I put him on the snow, and as I was reaching over and putting him down, I threw my back out. I kid you not, the sharpest pain just shooting up my back through my legs. I was like bracing myself on my car as I was reaching for him, because it was like he was on the snow, so the car seat was on the snow, but it was kind of tilted in a way that if I wasn't holding it up, it was gonna tilt over. So I was just bracing myself, holding myself on the car as I'm trying to keep my son from falling over on the snow. Just oh, so much pain, man. It was, thank God it was like at 7 o'clock or 7:30 in the morning, 8 o'clock, so on a Saturday. So hopefully not too many people were out there watching me struggle. I was out there for like 10-15 minutes, man, just holding him up. Thank God I was able to get him to my mom's, because so just to say, I have a herniated disc that I got from the Marine Corps, from being in the infantry in the Marine Corps. It's pretty bad. I don't know if it's super avoidable. I don't know if it was like the most avoidable thing, but like things are pretty common, but it is bad enough that I feel like I want to make a video on how to not end up as a disabled infantry Marine, as a disabled veteran. I don't think it's possible to avoid everything, because like you're in the infantry and it's a very physical job. Like everything about your job is physical, so like your body's gonna deteriorate. But the more that you can do to mitigate this, the better, because guys, this feeling sucks. It's day 2 now. I'm sitting in my chair recording these videos, and my back still hurts. Yesterday, after I dropped my kid off and came back home, got myself upstairs, sat down. I played video games for like a little bit, for like a couple hours. It was very uncomfortable. It was extremely uncomfortable. Eventually I was like, you know what, let me just go lay down for a little bit, because my back just hurts so bad. I laid down, and I shit you not, I couldn't get up for the rest of the night. I laid down for a few hours, and then I tried to get up because I had to use the bathroom. I couldn't stand up. To put pressure on my feet, I had just putting pressure on my feet shot so much pain up through my lower back. I struggled for like an hour to get up. Eventually I ended up just crawling to my bathroom because there was nobody home. My son is at my mom's house. He's not like he could help me anyway. He's 1 year old. My wife is at work. I have nobody's at home. I have to crawl to the bathroom. It was miserable. I had to somehow I just had to pee. I was gonna just sit and try to pee that way, but I couldn't get, not to be too vulgar. I don't think this is too vulgar, but I couldn't get my pants off, not gonna lie, guys. It was too painful. I couldn't stand. Eventually I was able to brace myself on the counter and just pee, and then I crawled my way back to my gaming room over here, my little man cave, as I like to call it, and just waited for my wife to go pick up my son from my mom's, and then help me get back to my bed, because I couldn't walk. It was too painful. Like I said before, I don't know if it's possible to avoid these completely, but we can always try, right, guys? You don't have to be like me. You don't have to be in pain, or you can, at least once you're in pain, once some of these things happen to you, they happen to you and you're done. Like you got bum legs, a bum back, but while we're in, we can try to mitigate that. So first things first, the 3 I feel like most common injuries that infantry Marines specifically have are bum knees, a bum back, and then the ringing in the ears, which is tinnitus. We'll try to cover, we'll talk about some other injuries, but we'll cover these because I feel like they're probably the most common for infantry guys, so they're the most important. And the first 2, bum knees and bum back, which usually what happens, I have both of these already, so usually, and I've talked to my infantry buddies, they usually happen in this way. Just so you guys know, if you were in the infantry, you probably can, most likely you have like 30% disability that you get out of the gate just because it's a physical job, like I said. So it's pretty common, or it's pretty likely that you will have most likely both, but or most likely all three of these, but definitely at least one, which is gonna, and these are gonna be either your no cartilage in your knees, which I don't have any cartilage in my knees. So so what that means for me is that every time I do a squat past 90 degrees, burning, my knees make all these popping and crackling noises, and then it just burns. It feels like there's a lighter to my knees. It burns really bad. And then as for my lower back, I have a herniated disc, and this is also very common. It means I just throw out my back, and I can't like really put a lot of weight on it too much. I still work out. It's not like the end of the world or anything, but I just have to be careful. I have a bunch of other injuries. I also have to be careful. It's all right. It's not too bad. It's not too like impossible to deal with. It's just annoying. Sometimes it's way worse than other times, like this weekend. But so your knees, the no cartilage in your knees, and the lower back problems, these are gonna come from really two types of exercises. I'll categorize them as different exercises. The main one is really going to be hiking. Having to hike for prolonged periods of time with a lot of extra weight on your body is going to deteriorate your body exponentially. So just to give you an idea, if you aren't in the infantry or you aren't a Marine, if you're a Marine, like you should have hiked at some point with this amount of weight, but you should be carrying in the infantry anyways, probably like 100 pounds. Not should, but like at some points you'll be carrying at 100 pounds plus. Sometimes they do lighter hikes. You won't have to carry as much, but the max that you'll carry, and it's not the max as in like this is like something like that we usually never do. Like it's pretty common. So you'll be carrying your flak, which has your sappies, and each of those are like 25 pounds each. So your front sappy is 25, your back is 25, I think, or 20, and then you have side sappies, which these are your this is your plate carrier. So these are what's protecting you from getting shot. Your front plate is 20 pounds, your back plate is 20 pounds, your sides are like 5 or 10, so you got around 50 pounds on your carrier, on your plate carrier. Then your pack is usually around another 50 to 70 pounds, depending what you're carrying and depending how long your field op is. Then you have your rifle, which is another like 20 pounds, depending on what you have. Then you have your ammo, and that's also not including your water, which always ends up being the heaviest for whatever reason. All this weight on your back, and then you having to walk for like 5, 10, 15, 20 miles sometimes, it's gonna deteriorate your body. 20 miles is not even, that's not the most you'll ever do, okay? 5 is like the least you'll ever do. But this is gonna fuck up your back. It's gonna mess up your back, and it's also gonna deteriorate all the cartilage that's in your knees, because there's just so much weight on you being pushed onto you. So a few tips for you guys. Make sure that you, number one, I know some of the this stuff is gonna go without being said, but the thing is, you guys aren't gonna do it, especially in the infantry, especially if you've been in the field for like a week. You don't care about anything going on. You don't care about packing your pack right. You don't care about anything that you should do correctly or properly, because you're just gonna get out of there. So like I said, pack your pack right. It's important that you, if I remember correctly, the heavy stuff, all your heavy, like all of your heavy items should be at the top of your pack, and all of your light items should be at the bottom. Reason for this is that if you have your LB pack, which is like your hiking pack, there's a big pack, the big pack. I don't know if you weren't in the military, then you might not know, but it's a big pack. Usually like your heavy items is going to be your water, your food, I don't know what else you would carry, and then your lighter items is like your sleeping sack, your clothes. Put those at the bottom, and then your heavy stuff on the top, because if you have all your heavy stuff on the top, then it can kind of push on your shoulders, push you forward, because you're kind of leaning forward when you're hiking. That'll push you forward instead of having all of your heavy things on the bottom of your pack, because that's gonna make it so if all of your heavy items are by your lower back and by your hips, and it's gonna drag you down more than it's pull you back more than it's gonna push you forward. On top of that, make sure everything inside is packed correctly. I used to be notorious for just packing all of my equipment there wet, dirty, doesn't care, just throw it in there, and my pack was like some deformed fucking Gengar, bro. Like it looked disgusting. And that Also also really affects how you're gonna be walking. It's really, after, I remember my pack just being sideways, and I'd be hiking for like 10 miles, and people like, yo bro, how the hell do you have that on your back? I'm just like, whatever man, just keep walking, right? Don't do that. Make sure that you pack all your stuff right. Make sure that you put the heavy stuff on top. If I'm correct on that, if I'm not correct on the heavy stuff on top, do your own research. It's been years since I was in, but from what I remember, it was the heavy stuff on top, light stuff on bottom. For your knees, I think this really, it's kind of unavoidable, just because this is just regular normal wear and tear. But I do think that those like Tempur-Pedic insoles for your boots, like, you make sure you get really good boots, make sure that you get new boots every like 2 or 3 years. But I think the Tempur-Pedic insoles were actually really good for people's lower back and people's knees. I remember some of my buddies saying that they got those and they felt so much better on hikes. I don't think that there's much else that you can do. I do want to stress, just remember to do the small things. These are really small things that you can do to help yourself out. I'm saying I don't know if there's anything else you can do, because like everybody I know has knees, back, and tinnitus problems. So like there's not much else you can do. So you have to do the little things as often as you can. Okay guys, and then moving on to tinnitus, more of the little things. Again, you really want to be wearing your ear protection, so the little foam things that they tell you to put in your ears during the range. A lot of people don't wear them. I was also kind of notorious for just taking out my right one, and just because when you're at the range, like depending on what range you're doing, sometimes it's like a stationary range. They're doing call outs, and you just have to shoot this target, then shoot that target, then shoot the head, then shoot the body, then shoot the pelvis. Whatever you're doing, you're just listening for call outs. So sometimes you want to take the ear pro out so you can hear, but I would advise against it. You should be able to hear with the ear pro in. If not, clean your ears. But also, it's just tinnitus. Tinnitus isn't that bad of a disability to have. Like, you just get some ringing in the ears like every few weeks. It's not the end of the world. And honestly, even people that wear the ear pro all the time are gonna have tinnitus. Like I said before, sometimes there's just not much you can do about it. You just have to do the little things. Some honorable mentions that I do wanna say, I wanna put out there. Even though you PT in the morning and you work out, you do your runs in the morning, and you do whatever your squad is doing in the morning during your PT, and then you're doing hikes and you're going to the field. Like, this job is very physical. 9 times out of 10, you're already a physical person, and everybody around you is a physical person. So you're gonna be going to the gym a lot. You're gonna be going to the gym on top of also doing all this extra stuff that you're doing on the job. Make sure that you're being as healthy and as safe as possible. I have 2 shoulder injuries from going to the gym. Granted, one of them was on deployment. Like, there was nothing I could do about that. What had happened was I was benching 275, you know, a little not too heavy, but not too light, you know. I was coming down and the ship rocked. I was on a Mew. The ship rocked and it just came down wrong, separated my shoulder. But if you can try to avoid it. First, honestly, I don't really do too much bench press nowadays. It's not that great for your shoulders. So if you can avoid that, maybe do it maybe once a month. Back in the day, I used to be going to the gym and doing bench, deadlifts, and squats heavy like every single week. That's not the way to go, especially on a body that's still developing. You're probably 18, 19. You're putting on a lot of weight. You want to wait for your bones to catch up to your muscles, so they're all just as strong together. So, you know, try to take it slow with all the weightlifting. Definitely take it easy with the performance enhancing drugs, I guess, man. I've never been on any PEDs, but it's a job that's full of a bunch of dudes, and we're all being very physical. So obviously, like, guys, I had friends that were on PEDs. As long as you're safe, you should be fine. We were on deployment one time. We were in Africa, and a bunch of guys that were on some of this stuff ended up passing out because we were in Africa. We ran out of water, and it was like 120 or 110 degrees. So the thing about PEDs, a lot of them mess with your kidneys. So if you can't, if your kidneys start to fail, especially when it's really, if it's really hot and you're on PEDs or you're doing some kind of extra thing like that, like, there's a good chance your kidneys will fail and you just start passing out. We had like 6, 7, 8 dudes that just started passing out one after another because they were all on PEDs, and it was just like 110 degrees out. The sun was out. We're in Africa. It was hot, man. It was so hot. They were fine after that though. Nobody really ratted, I guess. But honestly, a lot of people are on stuff over there. So do whatever you got to do. Just try to stay safe. right? Besides that, guys, I got nothing else for you. This video is really just because I threw my back out yesterday, and I wanna try to let you younger dudes, younger Marines, guys that are hoping to become a Marine in the future, try to stay safe out there. Try to do all the right things so you don't have to deal with these injuries for the rest of your life. Because I'll tell you right now, guys, they do suck. They're not great. It's not a great feeling to not be able to stand up or not be able to go pick up your kid. Yeah, sucks, but life is life. It'll keep getting thrown at you. Just remember to always have a positive mental attitude, guys. I love you. Take it easy. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.